confirming that we have a quorum present, I would entertain a motion to call this meeting to order.
So motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Since we are on Zoom, we'll do a roll call of voting members. Why don't we start with you?
Kathy Serrano.
John Farrar.
Cindy Carrier.
And I'm Damon Jesperson. And in our audience today, we have the esteemed DeMeo family. I don't know if they're here because they want to be here, they just got tired and sat down there.
In the comfortable
So,
chairs.
in the comfy chairs. I don't have my agenda in front of me. What is the first?
Okay, so the first thing is approval of the minutes from 7:15. And I apologize, but I didn't get those prepared. I made this agenda
Yes.
and intended to do the minutes, but they are not typed up. So we'll have to
So I would entertain a motion to table the approval of the minutes
motion.
to our next meeting. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next agenda item.
Updates from each party.
All right. Some of this will be a repeat from the last meeting, but I spoke with Jason and got a list of town-owned properties so that we can review them for potential Council on Aging applicability. I have not had a chance to go through the list. It is a very extensive list, including things that are, he did not narrow it at all. So there are things that are 0.1% of an acre, which does not service.
No.
And I printed it all up, but I managed to lose it in my office. So I will have to return to it later and work on it. And Cindy and I also had a very productive meeting with the library. As I said earlier, some of that meeting was just about coordinating programming and opening communication, but some of it was also discussing the fact that we will look at the library and Kent Way as a site, and wanted to let them know that that was under consideration, find out how they felt about it, what their needs are, concerns are, and so on and so forth. It was a very cordial meeting, and they wanted to make sure that they didn't lose any parking, and beyond that, they thought it was an exciting opportunity to potentially collaborate. I don't know what else you may have taken from that meeting.
No, I felt that was good. I felt that they agreed that we have a lot of people in common, so that there'd be a good synergy there with us.
It's well, the synergy across the street. When you think about the center, it's just a short walk away. And ample parking, the parking lot is rarely filled.
It gets filled, they said, when there are ball games.
Well, okay.
So,
Yeah.
so that would certainly be something to consider.
So that was very successful. And beyond that, I think you guys had started to work on a matrix. I don't know where that has gotten to.
So what we came up with looking at previous documentation that you had sent me, it made sense to us, the factors from past projects, cost, size, location, and suitability. Anything we kind of came up with fit into those categories. So we went with the same categories. Obviously cost clearly is something to look at, but the size of the building, making sure we've outgrown this space as it is. And as you know, we go to a couple of different locations to host other programs, whether it's during the week with exercise or our major events over at Peter Hall. So size is a big deal for us. Location is huge in terms of, we want to make sure that it's a safe location. For seniors, I would really love to be able to have outdoor space. Those were some things that we were talking about. Would you agree?
Well, I think taking some of the program needs that we have broken out as part of the first part of the process and trying to codify them into the matrix makes a lot of sense. So that, what would work for a police station in the matrix was much more limited than what the needs that we need for the council on aging for it to be successful. One of the things that's not on any of the previous matrices is proximity to other town functions.
Okay.
And that is something that has come up again and again as an important factor, and so that, to my mind, needs to be in the matrix,
Okay.
because it is a weight for how we recommend to the select board the viability of different locations.
So to me, I felt location covered that, but no,
No.
we should have it separate.
Yeah, I think the more we can break out and radiate things, like we don't want a matrix with 20 or 30
Right.
items on it, but you know, the 7 to 12 range, so that they can see how and why we weight things a certain way, helps everyone understand the thinking that goes behind it.
All right, so to be clear, things like parking would be appropriate?
Yes.
And outdoor opportunities for
Right.
walking and for, I mean, construction of sitting areas.
Right.
Or a gazebo.
Or patio, or, yeah.
Patio. The last walkabout with Eric, we came to the reasonable condition that as you're facing the building with the fence for the ball field on your left shoulder, that back space behind the Council on Aging is ideal. It could be in addition to the library with a breezeway, so that you have opportunity, and I think synergy for you to be, and your staff to be in touch with, at a short walk, other department
Right.
employees. That proximity is socialization for you, and rather than you being isolated somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think a standalone, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is good for us.
I mean, if you could go all the way to Martin Burns and build yourself a beautiful spot in the woods. I say that facetiously.
Yes.
I think we own some land somewhere up that road, don't we? As a town.
I think we may have given it away to Martin Burns at one point,
Have we?
in a trade with the state.
Understood.
But I'm not entirely positive. But I do believe we had landlocked land inside Martin Burns that we then exchanged, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I did a walkabout in that place, and when, I don't know whether I reported it directly, but to the folks in downtown in Boston, that I thought that hard range on the right had all the potential of real danger. Because when I went in there were people that were not shooting shotguns, they were shooting 308s. And it doesn't take but a 40-degree rise, and that's going to go 4,000 feet.
Yes.
And you just Google it and see what's 4,000 feet. Horses,
Yeah.
humans.
That's where I live.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it very well.
Yeah, I think it's an obscenity, unsafe obscenity.
So, for next steps, I think continuing to develop the matrix and maybe shoot it out to John and I to review before the next meeting.
Okay.
And I would err on the side of putting too many things in, and then we can talk as a group about combining them or taking something out if we think it's a repeat or not as vital. John, I don't know if you have some time and would like to go through this list of all of the town-owned properties and eliminate anything that's under 2 acres.
I'm happy to do it, yeah.
Okay, so I will forward that to you.
Okay.
And since I'm traveling for a lot of the rest of the month, I'm not going to do anything with this month.
Noted.
I'll be gone roughly 10 days in November from Tuesday to the following Friday.
And that brings us to the next question, which is, should we try and meet or skip November? So we have 11/18 as a meeting date, and I would kind of like to move the matrix so that we could bring it back to the board, but I understand I'm busy, and you have travel, you guys are busy with everything that's going on, so if we wanted to postpone, I would understand that, so,
We are anxious to move things forward, so
okay.
we're good with, are you good with
18th?
October 18th? We can, you and I.
No.
November 18th.
Sorry,
November.
November 18th. You and I
Yeah.
can work on this.
I should be back by the 18th. What day, that's the Monday following
Monday.
Friday I return.
November,
18th.
so is that good for you, John? Will you be able to look at the all list of the
Yes.
stuff he's
Okay.
giving you?
Yes.
Then I would entertain a motion to set our next meeting date at 11/18/2024 at 9:30.
Okay.
Second.
Motion, second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.